Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In my last video, I talked about the importance of voting in local elections to make sure that we were all doing our part to support the Black Lives Matter movement in a more sustainable and impactful way. For today's video, I really want to show you my easy step-by-step process on how I get more informed on local candidates. Literally, this process takes me less than 10 minutes. It's super easy and anyone can do it. We all need to become more informed voters, and we all want to be. It's just that the information is not that accessible. So I want to show you my process so that you don't have this problem, so that you feel more empowered in your voting and in the direction that you want your communities to go in. So let's get started. And for more future videos on how we can learn and grow to impact our lives and our communities, then hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to know when I post new videos weekly. The tool that I'll be using today is Ballotpedia. It is super user-friendly and very easy to use. It has a nice clean look to it. No ugly state website format found here. This is the real deal. So once you go to Ballotpedia, and you can either access it from your desktop or you can also use the app and find it in the App Store. Once you get in, you're going to want to input your address, and then from there, it'll show you what your upcoming elections are. So since I live in Massachusetts, the state primary on September 1st is what pops up. Once you're in, you can get a look of everyone that's running in all of the positions that are up for election in 2020. So since I live in Massachusetts, I can see that for the September 1st primary, Ed Markey is up for re-election for U.S. Senate, and he's running against Joe Kennedy. We can also see other Republicans that are running as well. If you move a bit further down, I can see the folks who are running for Joe Kennedy's seat for our U.S. representative for my particular district. So yours is going to look a bit different depending on who's up for re-election for you, but you're just going to want to pay attention to what positions are open and then click on the names of each candidate to learn more about them. So I can see that my state representative for my district is up for re-election, as well as my state senator. All right, so let's deep dive into Ed Markey first. Once you select the candidate that you're interested in learning more about, if you scroll down and on the right-hand side of the page, you can see under the contact information section, their official website listed, as well as the links for all their social media accounts. If you're using the app, then it's a bit more in your face, and all you have to do is just scroll down and you can see it there too. So on this page, you can see both their campaign website as well as their official website. So feel free to peruse whichever one that you're looking to gain more information from. For the purposes of this video, we're going to check out the campaign website. So once you select it, you're automatically bombarded with requests for donations. Just click out of that and head straight to wherever you can see the issues listed. So for instance, priorities is what it's listed as on this page. Sometimes it's listed as the issues. Whatever page shows the platform that this candidate is running on. All right, so in scrolling through the page, you'll notice, and this is for basically all candidates, there's going to be a lot of fluff when they start talking about the issues. You're going to kind of have to weed through all of the pretty language about everything that they need to be saying and should be saying, and find the few sentences that actually talk about how they want to address the issue. So, for instance, a few highlights that I'm noticing here, for example, he highlights that he worked with Senator Booker's commission to study and develop reparation proposals. In addition, I'm also noticing that he's highlighting the fact that he was an original co-sponsor of the Medicare for All Act. It also says that he supported the Mothers and Offspring Mortality and Morbidity Awareness Act, MAMAS, and the Maternal Care Access and Reducing Emergencies Act. So the reason why these are particularly relevant is that there is a huge disparity in terms of health outcomes for African Americans, especially Black women, and so therefore that is why he's highlighting these issues under the racial injustice page. FYI for anyone that does not know. Okay, other highlights. He supports Senator Warren's Universal Child Care and Early Learning Act, which provides free or affordable high-quality child care and early learning options to every American. So how that connects to the issue is that childcare is expensive, especially here in Massachusetts. And oftentimes, Black families are low-income families, and therefore, when they have to pay for expensive childcare, expensive housing, then they really don't have enough to live. So these are further reasons why he's including this in this section. Okay, and now the very last paragraph I'm noticing is specifically about criminal justice reform. And so here I see that he says that he introduced a resolution to abolish qualified immunity. So a qualified immunity, if you have not heard about it, is huge. It essentially protects police officers from being sued for basically violating your civil rights. All right, let's check out his social media pages.
Have a way on a recurring basis, month after month, to get that check to make it through this incredible
round of stimulus
that we're in. And we made sure, very clearly, that any undocumented immigrant that paid taxes would qualify for that program. This public health crisis is going to go on for months, maybe years. And that was the goal that Bernie Sanders and Kamala Harris and I had.
But it doesn't mean the secretary is going to say that.
It was to make sure that there would be coverage for every family until it was over.
I'm definitely curious. In the comments below, let me know if you already follow your local and state politicians on social media. All right, let's check out Joe Kennedy's page. So, doing the same thing, going back to Ballotpedia, finding his face, clicking on it, getting to his campaign website, and then checking out his social media. Pretty much the same layout, basically the same format. I'm wondering if all these politicians just kind of go to the same place to get their websites done. Most likely. All right, issues. Let's see where he's at. All right, so he has a few different sections that seem related to this topic. So we have civil rights section, we have communities of color section, and we have a criminal justice reform section. So let's head over to the criminal justice reform section and see what's in there. Okay, some highlights I'm noticing. He supports federal legalization of marijuana and policies to expunge criminal records for people previously convicted of low-level drug offenses. He wants to end cash bails, which is huge. So he also says that he wants a dramatic reduction in the use of mandatory minimums. So I wonder what dramatic reduction means. Up for you to decide. He's an advocate for humane prison conditions and supports banning private and for-profit prisons. I'm curious about the other sections. I'm going to take a look at those too. So, he co-sponsored legislation to address racial discrimination in housing by giving grants to first-time home buyers who lived in redlined and segregated neighborhoods, well, formerly redlined and segregated neighborhoods. Yeah, and a few other things that I also saw on Ed Markey's page. So, again, in many different areas, they're supporting the same things. It's really just up for you to decide on who you think is approaching it in the better way. And that's a personal opinion for you. Joe Kennedy also has an Instagram page, and so on there, he also has a clip from that last debate, and I'll play that for you right now, too.
At this moment is in crisis. 100,000 people have died, and over 40 million have lost their jobs. Cities around this nation are burning, and there are innocent black and brown lives being taken in our streets. Yet now there's talk to go back to normal. Our normal was broken. Normal was an essential worker who couldn't earn a living wage. Normal was healthcare that the sick couldn't afford. Normal was black and brown lives taken in our streets. We cannot afford to go back to normal. This moment calls for us to do something different, to build something better and bigger. And we will not do that with the same folks and the same mindset that have brought us the last 50 years. Because if there's a lesson from this crisis, it's that normal was broken.
Overall, I really do like Ballotpedia as a tool. I prefer the app over the desktop version, but it really gives me a big chunk of the information that I'm looking for. On top of that, I'm pretty sure there is a section where you can get access to the bills that these candidates and other officials have actually co-sponsored or pushed through in legislation. Again, when you're researching your candidates, you're going to want to follow this process, but you're also going to want to Google them just to get information from your local newspapers about what they've been up to, maybe alternative opinions about how they are as potential candidates, just to get a full, well-rounded perspective. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and hit that like button, share it with your family and friends, subscribe, and let me know in the comments below what tools you wish you had to be a more informed voter. To get behind the scenes info on this channel, a heads up on future content, and positive vibes, be sure to follow me on Instagram at @ATribeCalledLiz. Take care. See you later.